Being organized should be a way of life and second nature to you. That way we make it a habit rather than a chore. Of course, it takes time and effort to create those habits, but once you have them, you're going to stay that way. So today on Coffee with Colleen, I'm going to give you 9 tips to be organized every day. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Colleen. If this is your first time joining us, I'm a former on-camera meteorologist for the Weather Channel turned image consultant, coach, and mentor. And for over almost 40 years, I've been working with women, helping them nail down their style, because I've just noticed that most women have no idea how absolutely amazing they look and feel once they get their style right. So I developed a program that in about 30 days will teach women to be their own image consultant and stylist so that you can nail your style and look and feel amazing every day too. So today we're talking about organizing and how to be organized and how to incorporate it as a habit. So first of all, this one is so obvious. You need to check in and make a to-do list. Now, the best way to do a to-do list is the night before, because you'll sleep better. It's all written down. Everything's organized. Nothing worse than waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning? I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and everything's worse at 3 a.m. than it is in the daylight, right? And nightmares are worse, and then you verbalize them and they're silly. But doing that the night before does a couple of things. First of all, you're not thinking about it all night. And then when you wake up in the morning groggy and you go and grab your cup of coffee and take the first sip, you're not thinking, what do I have to do today? Because you've already decided the night before. So, and then your brain can work on it overnight as well. So you make that list at night before you go to bed. And then in the back of your mind, your brain is solving all the problems for the next day. Your subconscious is at work. So prioritize your list the night before to the top 3 most important things you need to do the following day. Then when you get up in the morning, you have 3 important things. Now your list, if you're like me, your list is going to be a lot longer than 3, but prioritize it. What are the things that are urgent and need to be done by you? So prioritize that list. So you attack those important items first, get those 3 things done and out of the way. Then it's up to you if you want to do the rest of the items on your list. My goal is to get those 3 most important things done before 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's the other thing. When you're making your list, it's not world peace, right? It has to break it down into, I have projects and tasks. So maybe my overall project is the Style Academy. All right. So I'm working on the Style Academy. Or Tuesday this week, coming up on Tuesday, January 5th of 2021, we are having a webinar for the Lifestyle Capsule Wardrobe Program. The link to that is in the show notes. So we're doing that this coming Tuesday. So that's my overall project. Now, how many tasks need to be done associated with that project? Well, I do webinars all the time. Every few weeks, at least once a month, I'm doing webinars. So I already know my tasks, but I still write them down and I have a checklist. And then I check them off as I'm going through the list. So tasks are things that can be done, maybe takes half an hour, 15 minutes, half an hour. Those are tasks. And then once you have a list of tasks underneath a project, does that make sense? So don't do world peace or don't put on your list of top most important things to do webinar. What needs to be done for the webinar? Emails need to be sent. Emails need to be written. Slides need to be created. A logo needs to be done. There's a ton of tiny little things under there that need to be accomplished. So break down your project, cleaning out the closet, into tasks. Go through and find all the shoes that don't fit and are too beat up to wear anymore. Right? That's a task. And once you've narrowed it down that way and made short items to do, it's so rewarding to go through and cross off those little things. All right, that's number 2. Check in Make your top 3 list, right? That's number 1. Number 2, when you're planning your day, it's not just a list of tasks of things that need to be done. You want to include on there calls, meetings, chores, and your goals. So I like to break my, like not this year, I'm going to, but overall, okay, I have a health issue. I was told by the doctor a couple of weeks ago, problem with my heart again. If you remember, I had a heart attack, congestive heart failure. Don't freak out. I had congestive heart failure a few years ago, low potassium, blah, blah, blah. A lot of stress. So I was at the doctor a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I've gained a lot of weight since the car accident because last June I broke my back in 2 places because I was rear-ended by somebody doing 55 miles an hour. So just grateful to be alive. But now I have this broken back, gained all this weight. So now I need to lose 80 pounds. So I need to lose a lot of weight. So that's a huge project, let's say. What are the tasks that I need to do to break that down? So what are the goals? So if you have a goal, what are the tiny little things that you need to do every day to reach that goal? So mine is healthy breakfast, right? Then healthy lunch, then healthy snack, then healthy dinner, right? Or intermittent fasting, or so have your goals in on your daily plans as well. Now I do a lot on my phone, right? But I'm an old-fashioned pencil and paper, because you know what? They have found there's a link between writing with your hand with a pen or pencil on a piece of paper is more effective than typing something out either on your phone or on your computer. So I'm a good old planner with a piece of paper and a pen type of person. Bullet journaling, for example, a planning app is fine. But things that are important, you plan. Things that are important are written down. So make sure you write down all the things that you need to be doing and then slot it into time slots. So first of all, we're making the list. Second of all, we're planning our list. So like I said, I have 3 most important things I want to accomplish today. My goal is to get them done by 11. So plan your work and then work your plan. So you have your list and then plan it out. Now, sometimes I do that the night before as well. So I know I'm doing this first, this second, this third. And then schedule in breaks. Your brain can work pretty consistently and focused for about 50 minutes. In our culture, especially the younger you are, the shorter that time frame is, because we're so prone to distractions, right? So no music. Turn your phone off. Get your phone in another room. Nothing to distract you for 50 minutes. You can be without your phone for 50 minutes. So focus, get something done, then take a break, reward yourself, stretch, walk around, get some sunshine, walk around, get some fresh air, just step outside, fill your lungs with some fresh air for a bit. All right. Number 3, F.A.R rules. Okay. F.A.R. It's an acronym. You got it. So this applies to your personal life and your business life. So file it is the F. If it's important, it needs to be kept, either the paper form or the electronic form. And I've gotten to the habit where if it's a paper form, I will take a picture of it with my phone and file it electronically as well. So the F in F.A.R stands for file it. A, act. If it's something that needs to be done, paying a bill, making a phone call, do it immediately. And then file it or recycle it. So, and then, you'd always, eat the frog, right? Do the least desirable task first. So anyway, so act on it. And the thing you don't want to do the most, do it first and just get it out of the way. And then the R, recycle. Junk paper, mail, anything you've finished with, recycle it. In other words, it's rubbish. That's another R, rubbish. Throw it in the circular file, right? So this applies to emails as well. I am so bad about emails. You know what? Maybe, I don't know if you can see this. Let me show you how bad I am about emails. I don't know if you can see this on let me move this thing out of the way. Can you see how many emails I have that haven't been answered? It's right there in the bottom center. I'll read it to you. 50,949. I kid you not. 50,949. I'm really bad at emails. So please don't email me. Text me, 214-214-4995. Text messaging, I do. All right, so that applies to emails as well. So you want to F.A.R. File it, take action on it, recycle it. Next up, digital aids. So yeah, everything's better with paper and pencil, but smartphones, call them smartphones for a reason. Now, they can be a huge distraction, but they are a huge help as well. So I have an app called I Am, which is affirmations. So I have it programmed to send me affirmations throughout the day. Now, I put my phone aside, so when I pick it up, there's a few that are there, but I can sit and get my mind back in the right frame, because my phone reminds me. My phone reminds me to take my thyroid meds in the morning. I have it set up. So I use my phone as a virtual assistant. And at one point, I even named my phone. I know it's Siri, but I named it something else. And now, of course, we have Alexa. Oops, she's going to go off. So use those digital things instead of as distractions. Use them as a virtual assistant. And, you know, you can have, there's health apps, there's fitness apps, menu planning apps, scheduling apps. There's all sorts of things that you can use and consider it a virtual assistant and treat it that way. Next up is tracking and monitoring your progress. So what's working and what's not. So I try to do this pretty much at noon, but definitely at the end of the day at 4:30. I take a look back at the day and what works, what doesn't. At the end of the week, I also have 4:30 on Fridays. I have a weekly wrap up. So I have a list of questions that I ask myself and I go through. And then at the end of the month, the last Friday of the month, I have a monthly wrap up where I look back on the month, what worked, what didn't. So, you know, maybe a certain type of organization works in a certain type. Or you can go through life like a pinball. You just bounce around from one thing to the next, you know, and so you're all over the place. Or are you directed? So that's the whole idea of tracking. You can bounce around and do things like, gosh, I've been trying to lose this 80 pounds for the past 5 years. How much have you lost? I've gained 5, you know. So whatever you're doing, Colleen, isn't working. Okay, next up, trash it. Oh my goodness, I'm a pilot in more ways than one. Yes, I know how to fly a plane. Yes, I pile things. I used to have, I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be. I had piles of paper. And I knew where everything was in those piles, and I knew what was in which pile, but I would just pile it. I just had piles of things all over the place. So don't be a pilot, be a trash it. So if it's not useful or necessary, just throw it out. And if you're going to keep it, put it away. One of the most important things that I learned was touch it once. Touch it once. So if it's in your hand, do what needs to be done with it. So, okay, I'm getting really good about stuff. I'm looking around. I can't find anything that doesn't belong here. But anytime you pick something up, okay, for example, my dad, and I've shown this before. My dad gave this to me, God rest his soul. He died in 2012. But it's an envelope opener. So I love this thing. And I have everything has a place. Everything's in its place. If you want to know where the Advil is, I can tell you, go to the right of the stove, the right-hand cupboard, you know, above, open the right-hand cupboard. It'll be on the bottom shelf toward the middle of the cupboard, right in the front. I know exactly where the Advil is. And that was very useful raising children because I could tell them exactly where to go. So track your stuff, identify what's working and what doesn't, and what needs to change. Then ending your day with a review. I think I just covered this one. So you can celebrate your accomplishments. It's really important to write all those tiny little things down so that at the end of the day, you can be proud of what you've done. You can give yourself some kudos and a pat on the back. And I don't know about you, and it's pretty consistent with the women that I work with, moms get blamed for things they didn't do, and they don't get credit for the things that they do. So you need to be your own best cheerleader. Is that true? Is that true for just me, or does that happen in your house too? I'll never forget. I had a stroke. God, I sound like I'm a walking wreck, but I had a stroke, and I couldn't speak, I couldn't read, couldn't write for just a matter of a couple of months. But what had happened was it was a tooth infection, and I have mitral valve prolapse, and so the tooth infection went to a heart valve infection, and it was misdiagnosed. Oh, you're too young, right? And some of that vegetation, which is what it's called, that was on my valve flaked off and went to my brain, so it caused a stroke. So it wasn't a lifestyle thing, it was a misdiagnosed thing. So I couldn't speak. I couldn't remember things. I had all sorts of issues, right? So it was around Easter time. And for Easter, we always did chocolate crosses. We didn't do chocolate bunnies. I found chocolate crosses one year, and then every year after that, I found these chocolate crosses. So that's what we did. I thought they were cool. Because as a child, I always hated eating the Easter bunny's ears. I don't know. But anyway, so we did these chocolate crosses. So that particular year, my husband, God bless him, he went to the store, couldn't find the crosses, so he just got Easter bunnies. You know what's coming, right? So here I'm sitting, cannot speak, cannot drive a car, cannot do anything because I just had this stroke a couple of weeks earlier. The children go into their Easter baskets and they go, Mom, where's our chocolate crosses? What are the bunnies doing in our Easter baskets? I'm like, so you don't get credit for stuff, but you get blamed for things. That's why it's important to be your own cheerleader. They were very young. So look at your list when you do something during the day. And do you do this? If I do something that's not on my list, you know what I'm going to say, right? You write it down and then check it off. And then at the end of the day, look at the list of things you've accomplished. Now, I'm a type A personality, and it's important for me to do that. Otherwise, I will keep working because I haven't done enough, right? But if I sit down at 4:30 at the end of the day and I look and I can tell tick, 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 and look at the list of the things I've done and that I've actually accomplished, then that's a good day. So just do a quick review at the end of the day and reward yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back and a kudos and a good girl because who else is going to do it, right? And then whatever's left over, if there's something you didn't get to, that's okay. Put it on tomorrow's list. And then create your to-do list for the next day. Include important tasks you didn't get done, and that type of thing. So I do that at 4:30 at the end of my day. And so once that's accomplished, then I make dinner. But and then before I go to bed at night, I review that list, reorganize it, and that takes us all the way back to the top. So becoming organized and staying organized doesn't just happen. It does require effort, and everything that's worthwhile in life does require effort. But you can stay on track. And you can remain focused by working on those 9 tips. Just a little bit of planning, a little bit of time, and a wee little bit of consistent effort. And start with your phone. 2 things with your phone. First of all, get all the distractions away, number 1. But number 2, use your phone as a virtual assistant. So I hope those tips were helpful for you. If you are a member of the Cafe Club, you will find all of these in your membership area. You'll be getting an email probably tomorrow morning that will link you back to all the show notes, this recording, the audio, and a transcript of today's show. If you are not in the Cafe Club, make sure that you check out, because Cafe Club members also got a very special Christmas gift this year. And thank you all for the thank you notes. For your beautiful, they got a Coffee with Colleen mug that was personalized. It's a beautiful china cup with a beautiful little turned lip. It's very, very classy. So anyway, if you're not a member of the Cafe Club, consider joining us. And if you want notifications the next time we go live for this recording, text me at 214-214-4995, and I will let you know when we are live. And because now this is on a podcast, find me and please write a review, because that's the most important thing you need to get noticed on Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Apple iTunes, whatever they're calling it now. So please write us a review. All right. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye now.